Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. And it is Thursday. It's October 29th. This will be our final chart lesson for the week. No chart lesson tomorrow. And I've noticed the last couple of videos, there was a little bit of the bleeps back again. I still cannot find any rhyme or reason. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. So I don't know if there's something in the area that interferes with my wireless headphones from time to time. I apologize. Hopefully it wasn't too bad yesterday. I didn't listen long, but I listened to the first couple of minutes and I noticed that it wasn't as bad as it has been in the past, but it was still there, and I know it's probably annoying, and I am working on it. So, but anyway, let's get to the trades. It was a trading range for the most part. We were working higher at the same time. There's a two-tiered channel working higher, but notice how prices are going back and forth across each side of the EMA. When it's like that, you can trade it both ways, even though it does have a slight upward bias. So you can see there's more long trades than there are short trades. But not a lot of trades today, but the ones that were here were pretty obvious and pretty decent trades. So, but let's talk about them. Let me back out just a little more. We'll talk about these and then we'll wrap it up for the week, and we'll be back again to do it Monday. But there weren't any early morning trades. 7 o'clock started right in these couple of bars here, and we're working up, but there's just no setup here really to enter. We pull back and we get a failed second entry short here, but we're right off the top of what looks like a trend line going up through there, and originally I had this right up through there, and it may still be right. That still may be right like that. Maybe it's a two-tiered. It's probably two-tiered is probably what it is. That's probably the other side of it right there. But you get your break and you move to a new high either way. So, but anyway, we're working up right through there, and I'm gonna go ahead and make this a little lighter because I believe that is a midline there. But there's a failed second entry short there, but that's a big doji, and then that's a big doji, and we're right into that upper trend channel line there. So I just didn't like entering there, but when it turns down again, and this is a double bottom, so you can count this as a new low. Now you got another failed second entry short, and we've tried to go short a couple different times above the EMA. So that's a nice bullish bar. So I like, and it's also a kind of a breakout pullback long. There's a little bit of resistance right across here. You can see that, and then this breaks higher and pulls back, and it's really a second entry long counting off the high. Pull back first entry, pull back second entry, and we've tried to go lower twice. So I like that entry for a long. And then it pulls back again and bounces right here. It's like a double pullback and test. Now we get a test holding above that line as well. But it's right off what looks like the lower trend line here. If you draw this and drag it down to the bottom, you're bouncing right off of it a couple of times there. So so I like that entry, but I don't like that signal bar. So I didn't mark it. I think you're better off to wait. And look what happens. You try to go lower twice, and it fails and turns back up right off the trend line. That's a big bullish bar. And this time you probably figure we're going up to test this. So I like that one. It's a pretty easy scalp, but then we turn and we get our break here. And this thing just keeps going down right here. At first I thought we were just going to go the other side, but you never really get a good short setup there. And then it bounces, and you don't really get a good long setup there either, and you don't get a second chance. So you just have to kind of watch those two nice moves. They're just not a safe way to enter them. And what will happen is people see this, and the next time they see it, they try to get in and they get burnt. So you just have to, this is where you got to be patient, and you have to sit here and wait really almost an hour before you get another chance to enter again. And it's not fun, but that's what a smart trader is going to do. He's going to be patient, and he's going to wait on the setup. And but anyway, we turn down here, and we start heading lower again, and we get a pullback the test the EMA, and notice how it closes right below that trend line. So this is a bounce right off that trend line. This is about the third bounce that really confirms it. That's a big bearish bar. It's a first entry, and there is a double bottom right across here, some support. So it's a little bit aggressive, but at this point, you probably figure we're heading back down to test the lows, and maybe even it turns out there's a trend line down here. Quick, easy scalp. It bounces, and then you get a second entry short and another bearish reversal bar. And we're looking for a new low, and we're really looking for prices to come down and either verify this trend line or head down to the lows. And this turns out to be a pretty good move right here. And then we pull back, and it looks like it's going to set up a second entry, but hopefully you can see why you would not enter there. We've definitely confirmed that trend line. So there's no short. And then we make a new high. It comes right off that midline, but again, there's no short right here. I actually like entering long right here because you get a double bottom. And I would have liked it better if it ticked lower, but that's a pretty bullish bar, and it's a pullback. So I like going long right there, knowing that we're coming right off that trend line. And then you get another two-legged pullback, even though this is all one move back and there's no break higher. Notice how it comes down, goes up, comes back down. So there's two legs in there, and there's actually two little legs in the middle. So this is a second entry long on a smaller chart. You need to be able to see it on this chart and not watch the other chart though. But notice we tried to go lower twice, and you got a higher low, and then it tries to go lower again. And look at that bullish reversal bar, big bullish bar. And that's a pretty good move. No surprise there. Most people, this is like a little short trap here. And this is actually a failed second entry short as well. The second entry triggers right here, but it doesn't go very far, so you can treat that. But that's the first time it breaks higher right there, so you can still treat that like a failed second entry short as well. And then you get another two-legged pullback. We do break the trend line, and we kind of shoot below the EMA, but it's the first break of this trend channel working up. It's a fairly bullish reversal bar. Just go long right there. And we run up to a new high. Kind of make a double top. There's no real good short setup there. Even though there's a lower, a little failed tick higher here. If this doesn't close on this low, it bounces right off the trend line again. I actually like kind of waiting on this, and there's a double bottom right there. There's a little bit of support right there. You can see that right across there. So, and then you got your matching high. So this is like a little failed break lower, but it's a second entry long, and we still haven't matched that high yet. So there's a good chance we may come back, and it does run all the way back up to here, but it turns out the resistance is a little bit lower. And this is like a double test of this. This is like a third, you got your high here and you tested it once, twice, and it fails. So I like that for a short. And that's the resistance off the high. And this turns out to be a great trade. You don't know that it's going to do this, but you figure it's going to head higher and you may get some pullbacks. But this thing, the bottom just falls out of it. And that's a great trade. And I really didn't mark anything after that. You could have actually taken a long right here. Notice we get the break, the new low, then we run up. We get a failed second entry short there, so you could have taken that long right there. And so let me mark that one. And that got you into the really into the 2 o'clock hour. There's actually some other reasons to consider going long in here, but you can see they kind of failed. There's actually notice that there's a failed second entry short right here. It's not really a failure because it got its scalp, but it would have failed on you going higher, and you would have gotten trapped in there. But that gets you right. That's actually right into the 2 o'clock hour. It's another good reason to skip it. But it just kind of got sideways right here, and this is just a little trade. There is, I will say this, there's probably one more trade here before the 2 o'clock hour. Notice that double top, and it's a failed break higher, you know you're going to come back and try to test this a couple of times. So you could have taken that short right there as well. And it's a second entry short. Notice pullback first entry, pullback second entry. So it's a second entry short. There's actually a little tick lower there, but this is all still one move. So there's a first entry, pullback second entry, and it is a failed breakout. So, and it is right off the midline as well. So there's a couple different reasons to like that trade right there. And then that does definitely get you into the 2 o'clock. And this, we're just going sideways here. You don't want to fool with any of that. So that was really about it. Not a lot of trades today, but considering it was a range day with just a very slight upward bias. But just remember, normally when you got an upward bias on a trend going up, you don't want to trade both ways. You don't, because you're going to be counter trend trading. But when you're swinging, notice how we're going back and forth on each side of the EMA. That's why you don't get too concerned about going long below the EMA a couple of times in here, or going short above the EMA a couple of times, because it's more of a range type day. So just remember that, and you got to treat it slightly different. So, but that was it for today, and not much else we can say about it. Just looking if there's anything else here. I really don't see anything else here worth discussing today. Just remember that when you're swinging both sides of the EMA, that you can treat it like a range, and you don't have to worry so much about going long below the EMA or going short above it. And you don't have to worry so much about counter trend trading. Obviously, if you're still in a trend like this, you don't want to be going long out of it. But once you get a reversal, it's okay to switch. So hope that makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it Monday. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you had a good trading week. And we'll do it again on Monday. But for today, I'm done. So I'm going to wrap it up. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.